Hey everybody, we're here for another episode, RLG Cast Movies. We got Johnny Donuts here, 777. I'll put his stuff in the bio below. And we got Caps here, the captain of the team, the host of all the shows that he does. You know, he's the... What's the guy's name from Addams Family?
Uncle Fester?
No,
the Gomez.
Gomez. He's the Gomez of this channel. I don't know why I wanted to call him Selena Gomez, so I was close. But anyways, we're going to do our top 5 Eddie Murphy movies. We're doing favorites, or our top 5 favorites, not necessarily the best Eddie Murphy movies. But it could be. Why not? So we'll do it the same way we did it for the Mafia movies, 1 1 1 2 2 2, or sorry, 5 5 5 4 4 4, and so on. And we'll start it off with Caps because he looks like he's ready.
Okay. Am I going through the whole thing?
Just give us your 5. No, we'll start. Everyone's doing 1, and then we'll do the discussion later.
Okay. So number 5, I'm gonna go with Shrek.
Okay. Shrek was actually a really hard one for me, but we'll discuss later.
Yeah, man. Right.
Okay, I'll go second this time. My number 5 is, and this is based on what I think is a really good movie, and it just belongs on this list, is Dolomite Is My Name.
Okay. My number 5, same as Nick, Shrek. Relaunched Eddie Murphy's career in the early 2000s.
That's totally fair. All right, Nick, let's go number 4.
Coming to America.
Coming to America. Is that Coming to America or the first one?
The first one.
Okay. All right, so my number 4 is Bowfinger. I know I'm catching everybody off guard with that, but that's a movie that I spent my entire life growing up with, and I like it a lot.
Number 4 for me is Trading Places.
Come on, Caps. Yeah. Are you there? That's it.
Number 3, 48 Hours.
Okay. That's also my number 3, so yeah, I'll just shout that out. Number 3, 48 Hours.
Golden Child. Number 3 for me.
Good choice.
Number 2, Trading Places.
Number 2 for me, Trading Places. Oh my God, our top 3 is the same.
My number 2 is Coming to America, the original, not the reboot, whatever you want to call it.
And I'm guessing our number 1s are Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I think so.
So all 3 of us.
I think safe to say
it's a trifecta.
It's Eddie's best movie.
This might be the only time that we will ever agree all on one thing. I can't believe me and Caps had the same 3 in a row, especially after our first 2 were so wildly different.
Yeah. Bowfinger caught me off guard.
Yeah, so guys, that's our top 5 right there. I'll read mine again for you. I got Dolomite Is My Name, Bowfinger, 48 Hours, Trading Places, and Beverly Hills Cop. Caps?
My 5, number 5, Shrek. Number 4, Coming to America. Number 3, 48 Hours. Number 2, Trading Places. Number 1, Beverly Hills Cop.
And for me, 5 was Shrek, Trading Places, Golden Child, Coming to America, and number 1, Beverly Hills Cop.
All right, well, we're going to open the floor for discussion. If you just came here for the list, you got the list. Thank you for watching, and let's start talking about this. So I'm going first. Shrek. This is my thing. If I showed you my list, so Shrek is probably like somewhere just past the top 10, but the reasoning for it is because I don't see that as a Eddie Murphy vehicle. I wanted to put it way higher because I agree with you guys that it's really good. But to me, that's a Mike Myers movie that just happens to have Eddie Murphy along for the ride.
Yeah, but at the same time, Eddie Murphy did leave his mark on that movie. So
I agree. I'm not saying you can't have this on your list or something, but that was my reasoning for not putting it higher for me.
See, I think of it as a co-headlining movie. It's kind of like when you have Goodfellas, it's like going back to our Mafia episode, you have De Niro and Pesci. They're the 2 co-headliners with Ray Liotta as well. Same thing with Shrek. The 2 co-headliners are Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy with Cameron Diaz as like the...
Yeah, that's fair. So I want to talk about someone that you had, because this is... I'll often put it on lists of like underrated or underappreciated comedies, and it's on my list, like my top Eddie Murphy list, which I'm gonna post my top 15 on my Instagram. But is Golden Child, and I think it's not even that it's people don't think it's good; it's that nobody has seen this movie.
Like, it's underappreciated.
Nobody born after 1995 has seen Golden Child. Like, I'm sorry if you have. You can let me know in the comments. But
I
like,
want the knife.
yeah, it's oh, it's so good. And okay, so you're gonna ask questions. Why is Dolomite my number 5?
Yeah.
I really liked it. In fact, when it first came out, I watched it twice. I think it's maybe the best Eddie Murphy performance that he's ever given, and it's just a really well made movie. And I felt like it belonged. Maybe it didn't belong on my list, but if it did, it was going to be at the 5th spot, and that's why I was okay with it. Because like I have 3 pretty close movies there. Oh, so never mind. Sorry, that was Shrek 2 I was talking about. That was way down on my list. So my next 3 were Beverly Hills Cop 2, Coming to America, and Shrek. Like I like Coming to America, but it's not, to me, it doesn't belong in a place with Trading Places, 48 Hours, and Beverly Hills Cop for me.
Yeah, they're movies on their own. I agree with that. Like my honorable mentions, like that's why 48 Hours. It was a toss up between 48 Hours and Shrek for me, right? Like if you're going solely Eddie Murphy movies, then yeah, for me, 48 Hours. One that I missed too is Dreamgirls. Fantastic. But then again, that's not an Eddie Murphy movie, right?
I agree. So Nick, you got any you want to talk about?
Well, Beverly Hills Cop 2 was my
that's my 6th movie. That's literally my 6th movie.
Nutty Professor, he did a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He did a lot in that movie.
That will be on my top 15, but I don't have a connection with it. Like even as much as I watched it as a kid, I never was like, wow, I can't wait to watch Nutty Professor again. I was like, I was the weird 9-year-old kid that was like, can I watch Beverly Hills Cop again? Like,
yeah, no, because I'm just basing it on his performance. He did a really good job.
He plays like all the roles.
And I think, sorry, go ahead, John. No, go.
That's
what I was saying. Sorry, John, go.
That's something they picked up in Trading Places, where he started playing like all the characters.
No, what I was going to say too about that is the fact that I think that's what started his decline a little bit. Like he was just feeding off the same formula with the Nutty Professor. Then he had Dr. Dolittle, and then he had the Nutty Professor, and it was just the same formulaic type of film that started a bit of like we didn't hear from him for a while. He went into like Remakeville. So they did Nutty Professor, he did Dr. Dolittle, then he did the Haunted Mansion or whatever it's called, and those were all 3 remakes of classic comedy movies. And it was like it had like started to get into a weird place for him. And then you got that Norbit and then Pluto Nash, which that ended his career basically. He was gone for like 10 years after that. What about Tower Heist? Wasn't that one?
Tower Heist is a movie I actually like, but
yeah, it wasn't bad.
He's so prominently part of the storyline in the movie, but doesn't really come into the movie until like halfway in. Like he has he appears in the beginning, but he's not part of it. And then it's so weird that what a big role he plays, even though he's not in that much of the movie.
Yeah,
I was looking at a few lists here and there, just jog my memory of some of the movies that he was in, and something that I don't think any of us mentioned was Boomerang. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's been a while since I've watched that movie, so obviously it's not on my list because I don't think it's memorable for myself. But it does get a lot of praise on a lot of countdowns or a lot of rankings for Eddie Murphy.
He has 3 movies to me that get a lot of praise from fans, like not really critically, but from like fans love them. And to me, I don't like any of them. It's just The Distinguished Gentleman, Boomerang, and Harlem Nights. And they're loved by fans of Eddie Murphy fans. But to me, like I can't even watch those movies. Like maybe Distinguished Gentleman, that's all right. But then the other ones are kind of like weird.
See, the one I like that's kind of out there too is Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, I forgot about that. That would have made my list, but I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was another great movie. It's like that was like a retelling of like the Dracula story, right? And I thought it was like, I forgot the actor's name, but you had the guy who played Dwayne Wayne from A Different World in that movie as well. And
I don't know his name.
Oh, I can't remember his name. He was I'm dating myself with this reference, but like I mean, yeah, Vampire. I didn't mind Vampire in Brooklyn. Another one too that I didn't mind all so much, even though it's like garnered to younger kids, is Daddy Daycare.
Oh yeah, Daddy Daycare is a decent movie. Yeah,
like if you want to watch like just a dumb comedy, Daddy Daycare is like that's good an hour and a half.
In the era when it came out, I say that movie slots in like perfectly with like the comedies of that time.
Yeah,
it's not like one of the best, but it's gonna fit. So I have 2. I think another 48 Hours is not as good, but like I still like it. But my 2 movies that I know nobody likes, I promise you, but I have this attachment to them that's crazy, is I Spy with Owen Wilson and Showtime with Robert De Niro. Like Showtime is so much. I love buddy cop movies. That's why buddy cops.
Yeah.
If I had to give you my favorite subgenres, it's like horror comedy, buddy cop movies, and then like I don't even know off the top of my head.
So you're into like the whole Tango and Cash, Turner and Hooch, those things.
Yeah. As long as it has like the element of like Beverly Hills Cop. Even though they're not really like together, I consider that like Lethal Weapon. Like I know first Lethal Weapon's kind of like not a comedy, but Lethal Weapon, like I love those movies. Rush Hour.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon's a great one. Yeah, but at least with going back to our thing on Beverly Hills Cop, because being that our number one, I think it worked well because you had, I know Judge Reinhold was in it, and I forgot the other guy who played the cop, but you had one that was like the bumbling cop and one that was like the straight-laced cop, right? So they kind of played off each other really, really well. So in a way, that is kind of like a buddy cop movie because those two are partners, right? So that could work in that.
I don't even know what the hell my phone is telling me. Anyways. But yeah, I agree. I do think it's a buddy cop movie, but usually when you really look at them, it's usually a pairing, right? And he's like a guy, and those guys are with him on the side. But I agree, it belongs there. The comedy in that movie just works so well. Like even up to the scene of like Damon Wayans as the banana guy. Like there's just so much like quality stuff in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And Bronson Pinchot as Serge.
Oh yeah, like just the funny part is the third movie is like almost pitched to you as like a Serge
film
and Axel,
yeah.
Which I wouldn't have minded if only he tried to be funny in it, because like Axel's just like trying to be serious. I think I was telling Nick that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll never appear in any of our rankings or get
I have a place for it. I love Beverly Hills Cop 3 as a stupid ass comedy. But
if I'm binging, yeah, I'll watch 1, 2, and 3. If I'm going to binge the movies, you got to do 3, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it's just
I can make do without 3.
They said the problem with that movie was he always, for the whole filming of it, he wanted to make Axel into a serious character, and they were trying to push him, the writers and who was the director? Landis? Was it John Landis?
John Landis, yeah.
And they were trying to go back to the old thing, just come up with a bunch of stupid shit in your head and just say it like on the spot. And that's how they filmed the other movies. It was all spontaneous. There was not really a script.
Absolutely. Like that scene where we're going back to Serge and Axel when they go to the art house for the first time, and he's like looking around at all the art, and the guy's like, "Oh, how much is it? $100,000?" Like, get the fuck out of here! Like classic. Classic line, right? So it's like, and that was just them playing off each other. It wasn't even like it was scripted there, but it wasn't really, you know what I mean?
Is that the only character of Bronson Pinchot can play? Is just the guy from?
Sorry, what was that?
Is that the only character that he can play? Is just Mork and Mindy? What the hell? What's
his
name now? Mork and Mindy. What's the cousins?
Perfect Stranger. Perfect Strangers. Cousin Larry.
Yeah, Cousin Larry.
Balki Bartakamus.
But isn't one of them is a spin-off, right? Isn't Perfect Strangers a spin-off of Mork and Mindy?
Family Matters was the spin-off of Perfect Strangers.
Okay.
Because Harriet, the mom from Family Matters, was working in the same building where Larry worked at.
And it takes place
in Chicago.
Yeah.
I guess you got small moments of the original Beverly Hills Cop in the third movie, but overall, like he was just trying to be really, really serious, and I don't think it's part of the reason why it didn't really work out very well. But I do know that they're working on a fourth, right?
Yeah, they are working on a fourth.
Well, he said now he's not making it until the script is perfect, so it's being delayed.
He probably got some backlash for coming to America.
No, he didn't. They actually got signed to make a third one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I didn't.
Was this before the movie came out, or afterwards?
It was it was like a week after it came out, because apparently the views that it got for the first week were like the best of the last 12 months for Amazon for an original movie.
Oh, geez. The nostalgia factor, I guess, must have kicked in.
Like,
there.
I don't hate it. Personally, it was not a good movie, but watching it, I had a personally okay time with it.
Wesley Snipes was the best character.
Yeah, it's not offensively bad. It's just like, I don't know why you made this kind of movie.
It's a lot of recycled jokes in that one.
And they didn't like, Semi has no reason to be in the movie.
No,
he just serves no purpose. I don't know. That's just
looking at the reviews right now. Look at the reviews right now. They're not that great.
I never said it was good. I just finished telling you it was bad.
No, I'm just saying. I'm like,
oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say I was saying it was good.
No, but you said that once it came out, you said that it had one of the best reviews.
No, it had the most views.
Most views. Okay.
Yeah. It was your highest. It was your highest grossing film in the last 12 months. I think.
Okay.
Or the original programming.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
the numbers.
Yeah, for a movie, not because they had shows that were higher, obviously, but. Yeah, and Amazon has money to throw around. Why not keep giving it to a huge mega name to do that thing, right?
Well, if Netflix can do it with Adam Sandler.
Exactly, right? And he gets you a market that a guy like Adam Sandler is not going to get you. And especially like a nostalgia market too. Like Adam Sandler cannot no longer corner the nostalgia market because he's never stopped making movies. Like his churn of shit comedies is so consistent that it's like you don't miss him. Eddie Murphy was like, oh my God, I miss this guy so much. I can't wait to see you coming. I was so happy to watch that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while since he had like a big budget production, not a big budget, but like a big production. Right. So with all that hype around it. So it was good to see. Like, I mean, same thing. I had fun. Hour and a half I wasted, whatever. It's fun. But like, if you got the time to kill, for sure. But yeah, Coming to America, like I said, I found was too much, a little recycled, not too.
And it was trying to preach a message that was, it's a stupid comedy. Like, I don't know why you're even trying to have a message attached to you.
Oh, I called, like, I mean, spoilers for that movie if anybody hasn't seen it, but I called it right from the beginning that it's his daughter that's going to take the throne.
Oh, I knew it right away.
Like it telegraphed it. You know what I mean? Like
Caps never saw it. He's like, never gonna get to watch this now.
Sorry, you know.
Okay.
I want to talk about Trading Places for a second because,
my God,
it's basically the movie that solidified both of their careers as comedians in the 80s. Like, because 48 Hours was not the one that did it for Eddie Murphy. It was definitely Trading Places.
Well, 48 Hours was definitely a Nick Nolte vehicle. Yeah. And Eddie Murphy was in there for the comedic relief.
And that's how people started getting to know Eddie Murphy. And then Trading Places was like, whoa, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Curtis in that too. Yeah. That was, they were something else in that film. It was a great concept, like something that it takes on that, I guess, that Prince and the Pauper type of storytelling where, you know, it's like, I mean, it was great. Like, I mean, it was that. And like you said, that solidified. Eddie Murphy was known as that silly guy that was on SNL. Right. Yeah. And now he's branching out and it showed what he can do comically. Right. I think that was another John Landis film, wasn't it?
And without that movie, we don't get Beverly Hills Cop or Ghostbusters. So, I mean, that's great.
I think it had a lot to do with the chemistry. It was just like really good chemistry between everyone.
I'm surprised
they just
never
played
tried
off each other.
I'm surprised they never tried to get them to do anything together ever again.
Yeah, that is weird because Dan Aykroyd went on with Ghostbusters right after that, and Eddie Murphy went to Beverly Hills Cop, and they were both SNL alums too, aren't they?
And Eddie Murphy went like the route of superstardom, and Dan Aykroyd just used his fame to keep making SNL fueled projects, like keep bringing Bill Murray and like all these guys on to do stuff with him.
Yeah,
and I mean, I would have loved to see more. I would have loved to have seen a movie with Eddie Murphy and John Candy.
That would have been, yeah. Can you imagine Eddie Murphy replaced Steve Martin? And
I was just going to say that. I mean, no, they needed a straight man, so it wouldn't have worked. But, yeah, that would have been
Dan Aykroyd write that movie or Trading Places? Because I know he had a hand in writing Ghostbusters.
Maybe he probably helped.
I think he had a hand in producing it, but
him and Landis worked together a lot. They did, what was it? They did Blues Brothers, right?
Yeah, they did Blues Brothers. And, they did, what was that one? Was it, oh no, what was the one? The one Demi Moore they did together too. I forgot the name of it.
that one with John Candy where they're in like a town, a backwoods town.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
I do recall that Eddie Murphy was originally slated to be in Ghostbusters, but he had to back out because he's doing Beverly Hills Cop. So Yeah.
And there's interviews with him where he talks about it, where he was like this, he thought it was such a weird idea. He's like, a movie about ghosts? He's like, I don't get it.
No, he said that he had an interview, and one of the movies that he regretted not being a part of was Roger Rabbit. And he thought he was like, what the hell is this? This is dumb. And then ended up being like a high grossing film. And he's like, damn, I should have been a part of that. But
who is he slated to play in that film? Bob Hoskins' character?
Probably Bob Hoskins, I would assume. It's Eddie Murphy in the mid 80s. You're not he's not playing anyone except the main character.
Like the only other one I could think of would be the Christopher Lloyd character, Judge Doom, but no. That wouldn't work.
They should have played Judge Reinhold as Judge Doom.
Doom, right?
Like, you know, Clerks, the animated series?
Yeah, Judge Reinhold presiding?
All rise for the Honorable Judge Reinhold.
I'm going to allow it.
Charles Barkley. Anyways, no, so okay, I'm going to talk about Bowfinger because you're both super surprised about Bowfinger.
Yeah, for sure.
This movie is so underappreciated, and it's such an for the amount of like huge names attached to it, it flew under the radar as like an indie comedy that didn't even do anything in theaters. It wasn't advertised big. I remember just my dad was always the guy that's like, weird movies, let's go watch Mumford Park. I'm like, why would you want to watch Mumford Park? Like, we're a bunch of like,
what the hell is that?
Like,
that sounds like him though.
Look it up. It's like a bunch of 12-year-old kids like, let's go watch A Mighty Wind or the what's the one with the dogs, Best in Show. Like, we're 10-year-old kids. I don't want to go watch a mockumentary about a dog show featuring Eugene Levy. Like, what?
What was Eugene Levy?
Turns out it's one of the best comedies I've ever seen in my life, right? Yeah. And Bowfinger, the chemistry, Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy together is just like so good. And I don't know, man. There's so many layers to this because he plays himself basically as another famous actor, and then they use his brother, who's like a nerdy version of Eddie Murphy, to film, like secretly film the brother. And it's just like Steve Martin is such an underrated legend, man.
I just remember that from the trailers. Remember when it first came out, and Steve Martin asked Eddie Murphy, "Do you mind if you cut your hair?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, but I prefer somebody else does it." Right?
Like, I'm telling you, it's not like a super good movie. It is good though.
It's underrated for sure.
It is. But like, it's just something that I have an attachment to, and I used to watch it a lot when I like, we watched the VHS till we broke it. And like, I don't know, it's just one of those movies, right? Beverly Hills Cop 2 though.
But I mean, I think that's where the generational thing comes in too, whereas I'm a bit older than you, a bit younger than your dad, but a bit older than you. And I kind of grew up more in that early 80s with the Beverly Hills Cop, the 48 Hours, that kind of stuff. So I think that's why Bowfinger for me was not that high on the list, was because I never really, it was not one of the ones that had that attachment to, right?
If you grew up in the era when the way you did, a movie like Bowfinger would have been at the point where you were like, another one, really? You're making another shitty movie? I'm not going to watch this. Like, that, for me, I would have felt the same way, right?
Yeah, it would be like Robin Williams' Cadillac Man.
Yeah, exactly. But then Cadillac Man's not even that very good.
No, it's not. It's not that bad of a movie.
It's pretty good, all right.
It's not bad.
Right? It's like me with Adam Sandler when I'm like, every movie that comes out is like, yeah, blah, garbage, grown-ups. Like, I don't want to watch that. But then you really watch Grown-ups too, and you're like, wow, this is actually stupidly funny because it's so bad that it's funny.
So Adam Sandler movies are like car crashes. You don't want to watch, but you sit there for an hour and you end up watching it.
I mean, his last couple of movies have been pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. A lot of people didn't like that murder mystery one, but I kind of liked it. I think it was
Uncut Gems was really, really good.
Yeah, Uncut Gems is amazing.
Yeah.
As you can see, I haven't watched a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
Do yourself a favor and watch Uncut Gems. That's a fantastic film.
And then after that, watch Good Time, because if you ever wanted to feel absolutely anxiety riddled and paranoid, then just spend 4 hours watching those two movies and you'll never leave your house for like a week.
I finally ended up watching it, so it was really, really good. Robert Pattinson turns in a great performance in Good Time.
Oh, you watched it?
Oh, I did.
It's crazy, right? Like, it's, you just like the whole time you're like, why are you doing this? Don't stop.
Yeah, and I have a little bit better feeling now as Robert Pattinson playing Batman. Like,
I told you, man.
Yeah, it's after that and watching The Lighthouse, I know he can do it.
That's a really good movie. And Uncut Gems shows what those directors could do, because they didn't just do it one time. They came back and did it again. So I can't wait to see what they do. But yeah, Eddie Murphy has a few movies coming up, so we'll try and get them reviewed if we can. You got, I'm hoping they do. I want to see Trading Places. Like, I know Dan Aykroyd's like a fat slob now, but like,
well, what about the two characters from Trading Places then, Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy's characters? Because they got to have those two guys. They were the central to the plot of the story, right? Unless they do it with somebody else.
The older guys?
Yeah, those two old men.
Yeah.
They had them show up in, was it in Scrooged? Remember, they showed up in Scrooged as like the guys in the homeless shelter there.
Yeah,
I think they passed away.
Yeah, they definitely
they
passed
both
away.
did. Yeah, so unless you do somebody new, or this time they're doing it to Eddie Murphy,
you could make it the kids or something. Like they had two sons that are both pieces of crap.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And they're trying to do something, and Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd are now part of the business, and they know what's up. So they're like, okay, we're going to stop this before it gets out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, that could work.
I would like to see that. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're willing to do Coming to America, which is probably the least of all of his movies that deserved a sequel. No, not that it didn't deserve it. Sorry, it didn't really need a sequel.
No,
the movie was a closed shell, right? Like Beverly Hills Cop is a continuous story you could go through. Trading Places, I'd love to see where they went this far down the line. And even 48 Hours, but there's no way. I don't want to see Nick Nolte anymore.
Are they going to take Nick Nolte out of rehab?
Like, I want to see.
Okay, to be fair, Nick Nolte in The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
as that little alien dude, whatever he was.
Just give me like
I have spoken.
A bottle of liquor and then a car and Gary Busey and Nick Nolte and just a road trip.
Narrated by Jake. By Jake Busey.
That would be amazing.
Might be a little too much.
I mean, I'll take it.
That would be something interesting, though. Yeah, but no, Trading Places is the one I like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing 48 Hours again. Like, who knows? Like Nick Nolte, I don't know. They got to drag him out of retirement, and he doesn't want to do it reluctantly, kind of thing. You know, if they can do it with, if they're going to do it with Lethal Weapon now and taking Danny Glover and Mel Gibson, right? So why can't they do it with Nolte?
Yeah, getting directed by like a 95-year-old Richard Donner.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Donner's the man, though. Let him go.
Hey, man.
His cut of Superman 2. Movie,
yeah.
Okay?
Both of them. His cut of Superman 2 is far superior than the original.
That is my favorite Superman movie.
Didn't he do Gremlins? Didn't he do Gremlins? No. Was it Donner that did Gremlins?
Yeah.
Was it Gremlins?
Gremlins and the Lethal Weapons, and he did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
His list is like pretty, like, I was like, whoa, I don't remember him being part of this, but yeah.
Yeah, his list is extensive, Donner.
Did he do The Last Boy Scout?
That I don't. I thought that was Ridley Scott.
Well, we're gonna find out right now, aren't we?
Dude, Nick Nolte is 80 years old. I don't think.
How old do you think Danny Glover is? He's like 79. Oh, like Tony Scott.
Tony Scott. Okay, Ridley's brother. He's dead too now.
Yeah, they're all dead. Everyone's dead. Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Tony Scott.
I believe this is what we're going into now. We're just Googling things. 1946. How old are you at 1946?
1946. You're almost 70. You're 65. You're 75. You're almost 80.
So that's Danny Glover is 75.
There you go.
I just saw 74. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, right. He's turning 70. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't have anything else here except for how old people are.
Nope.
And let us know what's your favorite. Let us know what your favorite Eddie Murphy movie is in the comments. And thanks for watching.
Please.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.